A young carer is a below 18 carer who looks after their sibling or family member, say mum, dad, brother, sister, and they look after them.
What do you think it is? What's a young carer?
Looking after people,
What sort of people?
like disabled.
I've been with Spurgeons for 2.5 years, but I've been probably a young carer for about 5 years, looking after mum. I care for my mum mostly, and then I have my granddad, which has Parkinson's, and I look after him when I go to his house. Mum needs help because with her fibromyalgia, she gets stressful, she gets tired, and she can't get to sleep at night, so in the morning she's quite grumpy. A day as a young carer, depending what sort of day it is, I might do housework, chores that children wouldn't do if they aren't a young carer. If I wasn't a young carer, I wouldn't probably help mum around as much as I would, but the best thing is that I get to spend more time with mum.
I care for my disabled brother. I care for him by playing with him, sometimes feeding him, because he's tube fed in his belly. And I do that because he's disabled and he can't look after himself. I've looked after my brother for 3 years, I think. He's the only person in the world who has his disability. It's a chromosome deletion. He's sensory seeks. He has learning difficulties, and his mental age is 12 months old.
It's all right, I'll get that off you in a minute, don't worry.
He's kicking.
He does.
By being a young carer and doing chores, I've learned a lot, because if I didn't have a disabled sibling, I wouldn't have known anything about, and I wouldn't think twice when I see a disabled person getting looked after. Yeah, I do get to play with James, and him playing back, like, sometimes you just like try to play with him and just goes off. He's in his own world, kind of, but sometimes you can actually play with him and he actually looks at you and he smiles, and it's really good.
Wind the bobbin up, pull, pull, clap, clap, clap. Your turn. Nope.
My brother used to come with me and see all of my friends doing flips on trampolines. So then when he was on trampoline with my dad, he asked him to do a backflip. And you've got to bear in mind, this was a trampoline meant for one 5-year-old with a 5-year-old and 40. And, well, he did it and didn't land right.
And he broke his neck.
Obviously, he's in a wheelchair, my dad's in a wheelchair, so, he can't do everything that someone else could do.
Okay. Thank you very much. Will you take the lid off for me, though?
So it's just he can't, you could wake up in the morning and roll out of bed, but he can't do that. So he's got to have help. After the accident, I matured a lot, but obviously I had to.
Thank you very, very much.
I don't know if it's normal to everyone else, but it's normal to me. Just if Joe's asleep, like helping my dad get in bed, helping him get up, doing his wee bag, putting down his t-shirt, getting him a cup of tea, stuff like that. Sometimes, like, if you're doing something and you are trying your best, and then he's just like, oh no, you're doing that wrong, because he's in a bad mood. But there isn't a lot of bad things, but I think one of the bad ones is when you are trying to do something and you know that you're not doing it wrong, but he's telling you you're doing it wrong when you know that you're doing it right. Yeah. It's just like, shut up.
The year I'm in at school, I'm going into year 8, and it's tricky being a young carer because sometimes I feel like I don't really want to speak about stuff and I feel down, and then the whole day I'm just worried, upset and not joyful and not happy. But then sometimes I do speak to some people and it makes a big difference.
I find things tricky at school sometimes because, like, I'll be, like, doing maths or literacy and then suddenly I remember that Mum's having, like, an operation or she's at hospital or at the doctor's or just in general that I worry about her.
Yeah, I have been told that I am more mature. It makes me realise that I can't act like a normal 12-year-old can because I have that disabled sibling, so I have to be, say, serious and more mature for my age because because I have responsibilities and normal 12-year-olds don't really have responsibilities apart from homework and chores. But I have bigger responsibilities and harder ones.
I get stressful a lot and I get bullied at school because I'm different to people. People don't understand what it's like being a young carer, so they laugh at me sometimes.
I have got people at school I can talk to. Like, they're understanding. Like, if my dad's ill or something, then if I go down, like, if I got homework and I haven't done it because I've been here and my dad's ill, then I can just go down to the front office and say, like, I haven't done my homework because my dad's been ill and I haven't had time, then, or my homework's not as good as it could have been, then they should say, well, we'll talk to your teacher and we'll see if you can have extra time.
Negative, I find negative that I have to spend most of my time looking after my disabled sibling. Sometimes I've been wanting to go out with my friends and Mum says, no, James isn't very well at the moment, and say if you go out and you catch something, you'll bring it back in and that will make James even worse. And say I have to look after him, I won't be able to go out that whole day.
I feel more mature than people which aren't a young carer because they don't have to do all the housework, all the chores, stuff like that, and they get to play outside and play on the Xbox more than I would. And I don't get to play as much or go around with my friends, have a joke because I'm worrying about Mum. It's quite tough because people don't understand you as much as young carers do. But I have support workers which look after me and they listen to me and they won't laugh at me like kids at school do.
if you want to join Young Carers, staff from Young Carers come and they talk to you how you're a young carer and stuff like that, and what's James's condition, and so they come back to you saying, oh, you're a young carer, and then they take you out on trips, and like you do cooking, you do canoeing, and you do a lot of things out of the house, because normally your parents can't really do that, either because they're disabled or they have to look after a disabled child and they can't focus on you. Yeah, you sometimes go out with your mates, but you're mainly focused on your disabled sibling, and it's hard. But with Young Carers, they enable you to go out and do trips with other people.
I think that Young Carers makes you feel safe, because you know that you don't have to talk about it because you're with other people that don't want to talk about it either. So it just feels like you're in a community that you're not, like, so it's not everyone asking you what did you do with your dad this weekend? Like, oh, this weekend I went this place with my mum and dad. And like, if someone said, oh, my dad came here with me, could your dad do that? Like, no, my dad couldn't do that.
You get a break from being a young carer, and you don't have to, it's a time to not think about them, and you don't get distracted by thinking about it.
It's like lifting weight off your shoulders. It makes me feel happier and not so down. Because if, say, I was carrying a pack of weights on my shoulder, and the weights are what I do at home and James's condition and stuff like that, and when I speak to them, the weights just lift off.
Bye, Mum.
Right, so if you want to, have you washed your hands? So today we're going to make a lasagna. So spread yourself around the table.
I can't do this.
You are. You're doing it right now.
So the seeds go in the compost bowl, which is the metal silver bowl.
What we were doing today was we were making food. They done this event because at a young age they think that it's a good skill to learn how to cook, because you don't want to leave it too late and then not know how to cook. And then also they did this event so loads of other young carers can meet up and talk. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. That's actually pretty sick. Look at that.
Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add some meat.
You ready for this?
Hang on. My favourite thing about coming to Young Carers events is that we get to talk to other young carers and take a break from caring. I don't feel like a young carer when I come to these events because I just chill and forget about my mum.
It shows what other people's going on in their life and how hard it is and what it makes them feel, and this shows that people can actually come out and be friends with people or just meet up with other people going through the same situation. Shall I add another bit to yours?
Yeah.
I find it helps a lot to talk about who I care for and what's wrong with them, because it lifts weight off my shoulder and it feels like I'm going through the same situation of other people.
Right, okay.
You ready? Yeah. Do you think it's going to be nice? A lot of things.
That moment that you got, yeah. No, that was good.